What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Phil and Leroy the Judgmental Podcast,
What's up, everybody? It's your boy Phil.
and I'm Leroy. So this is we back another Eagle season. This is our wrap up on the Eagles versus Dallas Cowboy game on Thursday. Here's some quick stats. On the Cowboy side, we got Prescott, 21 for 34, 188 yards. Rushing, we got Javonte Williams, 15 carries, 54 yards, 2 touchdowns. Our old boy Miles Sanders,
Upstairs.
4 carries for 53 yards. Receiving, we got CeeDee Lamb, 7 receptions, 110 yards. And George
Take the whole
Pickens,
plate.
3 receptions
Take the
for
plate.
30 yards. On the Eagles side, we got Jalen Hurts, 19 for 23, 152 yards. Rushing, we got Jalen Hurts, 14 carries, 62 yards, 2 touchdowns. Saquon Barkley, 18 carries for 60 yards. Receiving, we have Jahan Dotson, 3 receptions, 58 yards. Dallas Goedert, 7 receptions, 44 yards. And Saquon Barkley, 2 receptions for 24 yards. Now, what was your thoughts on this game?
Um, it's pretty much what I expected. I thought the Eagles would win. Being that was the first game of the season, and we didn't really play our starters in the preseason, I give
Mm-hmm.
them like 2 games of jail to get their shit together, and it was sloppy football.
Yes.
Shitty refereeing too, by the way, because I thought like the refs, and I seen all this stuff about this money line and the game is rigged for Vegas because we were stuck at 44 points or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But it was like a lot of people saying, "Well, CD court this pass, they would have y'all would have lost this and that." Okay, but we dropped 3 interceptions. So if
Right.
we court those interceptions, the game would have been over. Like, what are you talking about?
Yes.
So it's always the what ifs and ifs could have. Let's just talk about what happened. You know what I mean?
Yes. Pretty much what you just mentioned. This was a warm-up game because as y'all notice, ladies and gentlemen, Phil and I don't talk about preseason games on here because when it comes to the Eagles, you're not going to see much because the starters don't play for some unknown reason. They don't even play a drive. They don't, it's not even a drive. They don't play a drive, a quarter, or nothing. And this is like their preseason game right here. And just like the Packers game last season, it was a this is like a way to get their kinks out to get back on timing again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like you were saying. So we won the championship. So we already know what we got. Like, well, if we didn't win the championship, we'd have been like the other teams. Our starters would have been playing some drives. I think we probably the only team that didn't have no starters play no drives. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's like you said. I say the first 2 games, get the kinks out, get on sync with everything. You know what I mean? I think our offensive coordinator did a shitty job, and he didn't really help the offense at all because when you go a whole half without AJ Brown getting a target, that should be in your mind. Say, okay, second half, let's get AJ some carries, even if it's a quick slant, even if you call it like a receiver reverse, something to let him touch the ball, start getting acclimated into the game and shit. But it
Right.
was none of that. It was just like same shit over and over. They stack in the box, 9 up front, and we running Saquon Barkley right up the middle. Like, where's like the I don't know what the word I'm looking for. What's the word?
Sweeps
No,
or
not the sweeps. It's like where is the like ingenuity on the
mm,
offensive play calls. You know what I mean?
right.
Like, did you have a game plan? Did you think of plays that you wanted to run? You know what I mean?
Right.
And I feel bad for Jalen because now this is like the fourth straight new coordinator he got to deal with his shit. You know what I
Hmm.
mean?
Well, other than that, for what you just said, he played well. I'm talking about Jalen Hurts. He played well. He didn't turn over the football, so that's a plus.
Well, they
I
always
think it
say,
was go ahead.
go ahead. No, go ahead.
Well, going back to what you said about AJ. Well, AJ and Devontae, they supposedly they didn't really do anything all
Training
training
camp,
camp because
training
they both
camp,
was in.
practice, none of that. Yeah, they was both
Right,
dealing with injuries, and
right,
I think they said AJ still dealing with a hamstring, so he was pretty much a decoy, and that's why you seen Dotson getting more runs and shit because
right.
usually he don't really get that much playing time.
Exactly. So again, what you just said. Oh, other than that too, from what they say, I didn't see any all 22 footage yet. But for what they say is both were double teamed a lot.
Right. So they said that I seen a breakdown and they was talking about it and they was like, this is the the worst separation game. They got this chart where they do separation by AJ Brown, and
Hmm.
he finished fourth in the NFL last year in receivers getting separation and winning their routes. And they said like this game he had like a zero, and that's the worst he ever had since like 2022.
Okay, so
So
he's
that tell
still
you right there,
hurt.
he's still
He's
hurt
still
because
hurt.
if you
Right.
ain't getting no separation, that means you ain't even running at full speed.
And then the one pass he caught, he was kind of ginger on that
Yep,
too.
yep.
So yeah, my thing is I don't believe in that decoy stuff. Like if you playing, you playing.
No, well, you got to do the decoy because then if you don't, they'll put their best receiver on whoever you put in to replace him. You know what I mean? I mean, a cornerback. So even if he's a decoy, they still got to put their best player on him, even if he's not going out and making plays. Because if you know what I mean, if he's not hurt and you do play him, he'll be busting ass. So
Right.
you don't know. It's one of them fucking chess moves on, towards the defense. They don't know what to do. So it's be smart to just put your best defender on him.
Yeah, but wonder if he re-aggravate his
Well,
hamstring
he
again.
wasn't going full speed, so he couldn't have injured himself. That's what I'm saying. They knew what they was doing. They didn't want us to know, but he's still dealing with it. You know what I mean? And they try
Hmm.
to make it seem like he was cool and everybody healthy, and he capping talking about he gonna have this big game and all this stuff. He knew he was still hurt, and like you said, if he got no separation this whole game, that tell you something was wrong. Because you as a receiver and one of the top, I would say five receivers in the game, you're going to get separation at least once
Hmm.
and win your route, and he didn't get none. So yeah.
Right. So yeah, we had an hour. We had what about an hour and a half of suspended.
Oh, that was perfect timing for you to go ahead to sleep.
I was up. You ain't see me on the text
Bullshit.
message. Look back on the
Bullshit.
text message when they said is Leroy sleeping.
I
I said
seen
no.
Dennis say, "Oh, Roy must be asleep."
And I put note.
I ain't
Check
see
your
that.
text message. Go ahead and check back when we
It don't
done.
even matter if you did, because you might have had one eye open and shit and
No,
said
I looked
nope,
at the
and then
whole
went right back to
game.
sleep.
No, I looked at the whole game.
Sure. Any other time I ask you about these night games, you be knocked out. As
I
soon
am.
as
That's true. That's true. But this time I
so
was up.
okay, I'll take your word for it. So what do you think about the spit gate?
Young men out there, sometimes people do and say stuff to you so you can react. So this goes back to Shiloh Sanders when he threw a punch. You trying to make it in the league. Why in the hell you throwing a punch? Why the hell you let somebody bait you into throwing a punch like that? And now he got in trouble, right? Didn't he get in a fight in college or something and was being sued?
He got a fight in college, but then he got sued because of the car accident. He was
Oh,
driving
okay.
fast or whatever and caused an accident. Somebody got killed.
All right. So now you like a hothead and you can't
Well, he's
control
been a
yourself.
hothead. He's been a hothead, and that's why he fell in the draft.
Right.
But it's like after a while, it's like when you gonna start maturing. You're on a Super
Exactly.
Bowl winning team with the perfect organization. You the focal point of the
No.
defense.
I was talking about Shiloh. Now you talking about Carter. But go
Man, ain't
ahead.
nobody talking about no Shiloh. That's
Go
Tampa
ahead.
Bay problem or Deion Sanders' family problem. We talking about we got Carter.
Hmm.
But after looking at it, first I was like, "Oh, this guy's a fucking idiot. What the hell?" I was going bashing and crazy. But now after watching, because they didn't show that video of Dak the whole time in the game, they just kept over and over beating us in the head of what Carter did. But
Right.
then after I watched what Dak Dak did, and then what he said, even what he said made it seem more guilty. He said Carter was what do he say, roughing up or getting on one of his rookies, and he didn't like that. But
Hmm.
he was spitting at the ground, but he spit in his direction, not meaning that. And then when Carter walked, and you seen Carter in the video like pointing, like you spitting at me, like pointing to his chest, his own chest, like that. And when he walked to Dak, Dak said he walked up to me and said, "Are you trying to spit on me?" And he said, "Now you insulting my intelligence," and you know what I mean. And all I said to him was, "Why would I spit on you?" He's lying because everybody's seen you say something as you're smiling at him. You didn't say that, but you smiled at him. So it was a bait move, and he fell for the okie doke.
Exactly. That's
He
what I'm
spit it in
saying.
his. He saw the guy getting on that rookie, so he spit directly in his direction, not to spit on him, but in his direction just so he could see
Right.
it, and he fell for the trap.
Exactly.
So I think Carter should probably get. They're probably going to give him 2 games, and I think Dak should get 1 game.
I don't even think Dak is going to get a suspension from that. Maybe a fine, maybe.
Oh, they
but
both
not
should get fined. Well, we'll
but
see.
not a
We'll see what
suspension.
happened.
But yeah, gentlemen, don't let nobody bait you into something. Now the best defensive player he don't have to worry about. That's why Dak can sit in the pocket like that
And that's what
and
he
throw like
said.
we
He
did.
said, "Well, we game plan on stopping him, and once he was out the game, we can adjust accordingly."
Right.
It was like his game plan all along. And like you said, I think you or Dennis. No, it was Dennis that said it last night. The whole Cowboys' whole move was to get up under our skin. And that's
Hmm.
why they was doing all this little ticky tack shit and starting little scruffles and shit like that. They was trying to get Eagles thrown out the game to make it easier for themselves.
Right. Now, what's up with this taunting? This new taunting rule?
That was bullshit. Because
Hmm.
all he did was flex his muscles. We done seen fucking since the beginning of the time some of the best sackmen doing a little even Trotter with his little axe hammer. So now you're trying to take all the fun out the game.
Right.
It makes no sense. And he didn't do nothing outrageous for him to be getting penalized for that. All he did was flex his muscles.
Hmm.
So that was stupid
Agreed.
as shit. And one of the receivers for Cowboys, he busted the Eagles' ass and he was all in his face and he even pushed him. Where was that taunting at? So you're gonna pick and choose where you want to call the taunting?
Right. Hmm. Anything else on the game you want to talk about?
Well, all off season, all we heard was Jalen's not elite. Jalen's not top 10.
Well,
Jalen,
pause. What did the players rank him? The players like ranked him like very low. They ranked him like 20, right? As best in the league.
but that was all positions, not quarterbacks.
But
No,
still, I don't think all
they had him.
positions. If we go on all
They
positions,
had
I
him
wouldn't.
19.
Okay, if it was all positions, 19 is still high
Yeah,
for him.
yeah, but it
All
was only like
positions.
three. Yeah, but it was only like three quarterbacks that was ahead of.
I think who's the
So
quarterbacks?
it
Patrick.
was it was it was uh it was Lamar.
No.
It was Lamar. It was Patrick wasn't there. It was I think it was Lamar, Allen, and Burrows. They were the three quarterbacks I think they had ahead of him. And then
So
he was 19, or it could have been the top four. It could have been Pat Mahomes as the fourth, and then Jalen was the fifth. And I think that's where he at. I will put him if you rank the quarterbacks in the NFL. I would say he's around five or six. I don't have
okay,
a problem with
so
that.
you do you say he's better? Oh, do you say Joe Burrow's better than Hurts?
It's a There's more to it than just a better player than or better quarterback. You know what I mean? Better throw. So I would say Burrows is a better thrower of the football than Jalen Hurts. But
Okay,
Jalen Hurts don't have to throw the ball all the time. I would say
agreed.
Jalen Hurts is a better winner, a better
Mm-hmm.
leader, and an
Mm-hmm.
overall better football player. But
Okay.
Burrows is an elite thrower of the football.
Okay, now Allen.
Allen,
Yeah.
see, a lot of people like to pump Allen up bigger than what he is, but shit, Allen to me is just like Jalen Hurts.
Mm-hmm.
You
Oh,
can
how
say what you
so?
want because he threw 4,000 yards a couple times, but last year he had he only had what 25 touchdowns
Mm-hmm.
and five interceptions or something, and that was his best year, like keeping the ball down. So you give him MVP. He should have been MVP. He had a real good year, but he should have won because he didn't have MVP numbers. He didn't lead the league in nothing. Even quarterback rating, completion percentage, touchdowns, like none of the yards, none of his stuff was like top in any category. I don't think he was in top five in none of those categories or top 10 in none of those categories for that matter. So
Oh,
when you're not top 10 in no categories that your position calls for, you shouldn't be MVP.
oh,
Now, if you got the best record in the league and you had a good year, then I can see that.
mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, he didn't even have the best record. So it's like it was one of them things. We love Josh Allen. He finally got his because everybody kept saying, well, if you make Jalen Hurts throw, he shows that he turned the ball over a lot. Okay, but you can say the same thing for Josh Allen. All his years that he threw the ball a lot and got a whole bunch of yards, he also got a lot of interceptions.
Mm-hmm.
And they get on Jalen Hurts for running the ball and doing a tush push. Well, Allen do the same thing. He runs the ball. He had about 500 yards rushing, and he had about
Mm-hmm.
14 to 12 touchdowns rushing the ball too, because he do sneaks too.
Yes.
So what do you call it? Tush pushes. He do the same thing. So to me, he's like right there with Josh. Him and Josh Allen is like damn near. To me, I would say interchangeable. They pretty
Okay.
much do the same thing on the field. Only thing is Josh Allen can't beat Pat Mahomes, and our boy can.
Lamar.
I think right now Lamar is the best quarterback in football. Overall, best I would say best overall quarterback. as far
Mm-hmm.
as like thrower, runner, putting up numbers, accuracy, high ass quarterback rating. Like he led in every quarterback category, I believe, except for like what's the name? What was it? Yards. And I think it might have been touchdowns, but he was right there. You know what I mean? But he
Mm-hmm.
had like a 119 quarterback rating. Like his numbers like was really MVP type worthy numbers. But he has the same problem as Josh Allen. You can't beat Mahomes, and until you can beat Mahomes, ain't nobody gonna talk about you as being elite or well, you're elite, but great. You can't get into that great category until you get that monkey off your back. And until Pat Mahomes retire or you beat him, you got problems because they both had opportunities to win in the playoffs and they just couldn't get it done.
Now, Pat.
Pat Mahomes,
Yes.
well, Pat Mahomes is like the GOAT right now because
Mm-hmm.
he's accurate. He puts the ball where it need to be. Last year they had the best record and he didn't even have like real good receivers. He didn't have a good what's the name had a down year, Travis Kelsey, because he didn't have receivers. So now everybody can just focus on Kelsey. So now
Right.
Kelsey can't do nothing. They didn't really have a running game. All they really had was Pat Mahomes in the defense. You know what I mean? So that's why I say the to not have any receivers and still have the best record, that's why he's still number one. And he got two Super Bowls and he's what, only like 25, 26 or something. How old is he? He's still young.
Yes.
So that's why I would rank him. He's got to be a top.
Right. Well, you included all their stats and who's accurate and everything like that. At the end of the day, it's all about wins and losses. And like you said, Jalen Hurts is a winner. So I don't understand how in the hell would they put Lamar, Allen, or Burrows over Jalen Hurts. I'm sorry. The guy
And,
wins.
right, and I can
Period.
see it both ways because they always saying how elite our team was. Well, last year at the beginning of the year, nobody said how this team was so elite. Then they said, Barkley got us the championship. He carried it. We just rolled his back. All Jalen Hurts had to do was not messed up.
Yeah.
Well, Barkley got shut down in the championship game.
Yes.
Jalen Hurts, what was that? His second year in the league, he got us to a Super Bowl without Saquon Barkley.
Mm-hmm.
He's been in the playoffs every year as a starter. So I don't want to hear that. When you got Burrows with the best receiving combo in football and still missing the playoffs, I don't want to hear this. So then say, well, everybody say, well, it's the defense. Okay, they do got a sucky defense. So if you got a sucky defense, but you got firepower offense, you should be putting up at least 30 points a game and your defense giving up more than 30. But they had games where they couldn't even score. How is that possible when Burrow's supposed to be the best quarterback and you got the two best receivers in football as a tandem? So no, I'm not trying to hear that. The bottom line is he didn't get it done when he needed to get it done. That's how he missed the playoffs.
And Twitter says the exact thing you said about how Jalen Hurts had such a great team and Saquon Barkley that was the best person on the team or whatever. When it comes to elite teams, they all great. They all have good position players.
Exactly.
So
Nobody was saying shit when Pat Mahomes was winning championships and he had fucking Hunt and what's the other running back putting up 1,000 yards, and then he had Tariq Hill and Kelsey. He had a fucking bomb stop star all star starting lineup. Nobody
right,
never said nothing about well he playing on the greatest team or whatever, and then he had a top defense.
right.
So I don't want to hear that shit. All Lamar Allen had what's the receiver he had? Stephon Diggs.
Mhm.
Yeah, Stephon Diggs. He had a good tight end. His running back, they trying to act like his running back is nothing, but his running back had like 18 rushing touchdowns and 900 yards. And he had averaging like almost 5 yards a carry, if not 5 yards a carry. So it's not like he was trash. He was a good running back. He was a beast. And then they got defensive players too. So don't, in order for you to be a winning quarterback, you got to have stars around you. That's just the bottom line. But Jalen
Exactly.
Hurts is the only one they give flack to.
Exactly. And it's weird to me. I don't understand it. So I will put Mahomes is number one, and I will put as of right now, Mahomes is number one, and I will put Jalen Hurts as number two. Maybe Lamar at number three.
Mm-hmm.
Lamar and Joe Burrows can kind of like battle for that position because Joe Burrows did take his team to the Super Bowl, didn't win, but he did do something. But all those other guys, they haven't gotten there yet. So I don't understand this. I don't understand how people do this even like the
Well,
experts talk shit about
because
Jalen
they're idiots.
Hurts.
They're talking about CJ Stroud. CJ Stroud had a bang out rookie year. Then they got film on him. They know what he like. He getting hurt left and right, and he's not playing as good. But you still rank him higher than Jalen Hurts, and he's, you know what I mean. He's having a
Right.
shitty year. He's missing playoff type shit. And then you got who else? Herbert. Goddamn, Herbert threw what 4 or 5 interceptions in a playoff game. Chilling, and they talk about, well, if you switch players, here we go with the bullshit.
Oh
Oh,
yeah,
I
they
hate when
love
they do
doing
that.
that.
I hate when they do, well, if
Yeah.
you switch players, well, if you switch players, if you put Burrows on the Eagles, Saquon is not getting 2,000 yards. And if Saquon is getting 2,000 yards, then Burrows ain't throwing for 5,000 yards. It don't make no sense.
Hmm.
They showed a stat and they showed every, I think I screenshot it, but they showed every running back that got over 2,000 yards and how much yards the quarterbacks threw. And it was only like one quarterback that threw more yards than Jalen Hurts when their running back had over 2,000 yards. Even Elway was over there with like 2,800 yards passing. So then people say,
Hmm.
well, that was a different time. Ain't nobody trying to hear that shit. If Dan Marino was throwing for 5,000 yards, then Elway could have threw for more yards than 228 too, if that's the case. And if you gotta, the thing is, if you gotta lead most of your games, why throw it when you don't have to? Hand
Right.
that ball off, run the clock out, and take the W. And that's pretty much what we did all last year. Why
Yes.
force to throw the ball? And see, that's how dumbasses lose games. You got the lead, and then you throw a pick six, or your quarterback phone when they run into the house. If you got the lead, they can't stop the run. You keep running the ball,
Hmm.
and that's why he didn't have a lot of plays here. Plus, he had a concussion one game, and he missed two games.
Right. So,
I think he's like 15, 15-1 in his last 16 games, something like that, or 15-0 in his last 15 or 16 games starting. So
hmm,
the guy is a proven winner. So they
yes.
need to just leave him alone. He runs the offense the way we need him to run the offense.
Right. So next week, speaking of Patrick Mahomes, the Eagles are going to Arrowhead Stadium to play the Kansas City Chiefs. What's your thoughts on that game?
Would they play on Sunday?
Yes, the 14th.
Right. So this is what I want to happen. I want we call it Baltimore to beat their ass and bang them up. You know what I mean? I want Patton to win, but I want him to get his ass beat, like just roughed him up. That way when we play him, he got a win under his belt, so he don't really got to win, and he's banged up, so he ain't taking it going full string. And then we
Right.
got we probably ain't gonna have Carter back, but maybe we can get some pressure on the quarterback. I saw they just signed a linebacker or defensive end that
Yes.
had 9 sacks last year.
Defensive end.
Yeah, so maybe that'll help because we ain't had no pass rush.
Hmm. So this is the last time we'll speak before the big fight, Terrence Crawford versus Canelo Alvarez. What's your thoughts on that?
I hope it's a good fight. And sometimes you see these fighters, you say, "Oh, this is gonna be a good fight," and then it be a sleeper and shit. Motherfuckers tagging each other, but pretty much dancing the whole fight. I want
Hmm.
them to go see, and that's what Canelo want. Canelo want to go toe to toe. If you go
Yeah.
toe to toe with Canelo, you'll probably lose.
Hmm.
But see, Crawford, he got them combinations. He can counter. So I think Crawford is gonna win. I think he's gonna outsmart Canelo. Canelo's a bruise, and it's the same way when Canelo fought Floyd. I just knew Canelo was gonna win that fight, and he got outsmarted.
Yeah, I think that Crawford is going to box Canelo like Floyd did, and
Mm-hmm.
that's what's going to happen, a decision, 12 round decision.
Yeah.
But if Canelo box, then Crawford is in trouble, especially if Canelo uses a jab. If he uses a jab and box,
See, Canelo want to knock you out, and that's what's gonna get in his head. He's gonna go
exactly,
for the kill, and it's gonna throw him off a good game plan if he had one.
right. And it ain't too many well, look at Canelo's roster. He ain't for other than Floyd, he hasn't fought anybody. Everybody like was staying in front of him. Ain't too many guys that did Charlo probably didn't. But Charlo was undersized. And Charlo was like, look, he felt that punch that couple of rounds and he was like, all right, I'm just gonna coast the rest of the way. I might lose, but 12 rounds is a win for me. And plus that was the wrong Charlo anyway that fought him. But yeah, he doesn't never fought anybody who like moved around. You know, all those other guys
Did
that
he
just
fight
stand in front.
Shane? I feel like he fought Shane.
Shane Mosley. If he fought
Yeah,
Shane,
he might have been young, but I feel like he fought Shane.
uh-huh. I don't know. Hold on, let me see for a second.
I know when Shane was moving up, he was fighting everybody, all the top guys. So I gave Shane his props for that. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, he fought Canelo, but I can't remember if Canelo was real young when that happened. Where's my phone at? Hey, you got my phone?
Yeah, he beat Shane Mosley. This was What year is this? This was in 2012. So he was young, still young. This is before he fought Floyd. So he had to be like in his early 20s.
Yeah, but he was
And
still.
Shane Mosley was 40 years old too,
Oh,
by
so
the
that was the
way.
old Shane.
Yeah.
Okay, I know. I thought Canelo was younger, but you see, Shane.
So he was 21.
Okay.
Carnelo was 21 at that time. So yeah, let's hope we good. I don't know what the undercard is going to be,
Mm-hmm.
but let's just hope it's going to be good. Netflix is advertising the hell out of that
When
fight.
do when do they fight? Is it tomorrow or
No,
is it next week?
Saturday, next Saturday.
Next Saturday. Okay.
Looking at the card, I don't see. It's a one card, one match show. Yeah. So, do you want to still do some news stuff?
If you got a little bit you want to do, we can.
Mm,
So it's like for some odd reason it's hot as shit in this basement. Usually it's cool down here. I don't know if it was hot outside, so now it's muggy down here because
yeah.
it was hot today. And she ain't like to have these windows because what she doing is letting in the heat. Usually the basement's supposed to be the coolest area.
Hmm. All right, y'all. You can reach the Judgmentals on Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, and subscribe to our YouTube at PNL Judgmentals, Instagram at the_judgmentals, or you can email us at pnljudgmentals@gmail.com. Sorry, Phil.
All right, man. All right, y'all. Peace out.
And watch our eagles fly.